Last week, Ilia Topuria revealed that he will be dropping El Matador and changing his nickname ahead of his move to the lightweight division. Today, Ilia has revealed his new nickname will be La Leyenda, which translates to the legend.
Que me va a acompañar en mis próximos combates va a ser La Leyenda.
Topuria went on to say El Matador is something that has accompanied me throughout my entire sporting career, throughout my entire trajectory, and it's something that's led me to the new nickname. It's always what I say. You need to believe, you need to see to believe. I believe it first, and then I see it. So the nickname that will accompany me in my next fights is going to be La Leyenda. Magomed Ankalaev has responded to Joe Rogan. Recently, Joe claimed that he heard Alex Pereira fought sick and injured at UFC 313. On the Joe Rogan Experience, he went on to say they say he fought with a broken hand and neurovirus against Ankalaev. He fought with a broken toe before. When he beat Yuri Prohaska, he had a f***ed-up knee. Remember when he went and tumbled at the end of the fight? That's because his knee wouldn't support him. He was basically fighting on one leg in the first fight. Then he gets surgery. I guess it's probably meniscus, because he came back pretty quick. Ankalaev and Pereira, second round Pereira gets rocked, and then he's kind of not the same after that. Much more defensive after that. I saw a good breakdown of Ankalaev's stand-up against Pereira. It was very high level, especially taking away the front hand. He's doing this circular motion with his hand and taking away angles. They're going to run it back, I'm sure. That's a big fight in that division, and if Pereira can come in healthy, but he's another one. He's too active. Magomed Ankalaev responded to Joe on X. He wrote, Joe Rogan mentioned his team said Alex fought with a broken hand and neurovirus. When fighters step in the cage, nobody is 100%. I was offered a rematch with him in August and I said yes. But if he's not ready, I will fight whoever is next. It doesn't matter. Cain Velasquez has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for the shooting that took place a couple of years ago. In February 2022, Cain pursued and opened fire on a vehicle carrying Harry Goulart, along with Goulart's mother and stepfather. Cain allegedly acted on the belief that Goulart had sexually abused a young family member. The gunfire ultimately struck Goulart's stepfather. According to NBC, the stepfather, who was hit twice, said he doesn't have full use of his right arm anymore. Cain's lawyer asked the judge to release him on probation, but expects Cain will ultimately serve a year in prison after getting credit for time served in jail and in home confinement. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Daniel Cormier spoke out following Cain's sentencing. Khabib posted this to his Instagram story. He wrote, "Stay strong, Lion." And DC posted this. He wrote, "Warrior, Cain, you are the man. That won't ever change. You will approach this like you've done every step of your life. See you soon, champ." Cain's attorney Renee Hessling has released a statement. It reads, "Today's results are bittersweet. We had hoped Mr. Velasquez would remain out of jail. However, the facts remain clear. Cain Velasquez is a good man, a devoted father, and a respected member of the community. What he and his family have endured has been nothing short of a living nightmare, one they did not deserve. Throughout it all, Cain has shown courage and strength of character. He has taken responsibility for his actions and has been held accountable. The sentence handed down today reflects the complexities of the situation and acknowledges the man behind the headlines. When he is released, he will continue to lead by example, protecting, contributing, and caring for the people around him." Kamaru Usman shared his thoughts on Leon Edwards' loss to Sean Brady over the weekend. Leon became the welterweight champion by knocking out Usman with a head kick in March of 2023, a fight Usman had been winning up until the finish. Usman claimed that Edwards won the belt through some form of magic, and argued that after becoming champion, his ego grew, and he failed to make the necessary adjustments to remain on top. He compares Leon to Sean Strickland.
You know, it was just textbook. He followed the blueprint to a T, and he even improved upon it. And so great for Sean Brady. Man, it was a flawless victory, really. And I think, and listen, Henry, I think when you do become champion, you know, by some form of magic or whatever, somehow you become champion, you start feeling yourself. You start feeling like, yo, I got the sauce. I'm that dude now. I'm this. I'm the best. I'm the best. But you still have holes in your game that needs to be corrected. And if you don't take the time to really try to work on that and enhance that game, or at least clean those up, you won't stay there for very, very long. Yeah. You saw it with Sean Strickland, middleweight. Leon's not us. And I say us in a sense of, we're wrestlers first. to where we know what that conditioning takes to be able to chain wrestle and wrestle, don't get the takedown, but go back in for the shot, or scramble and scramble and scramble and back up. And if I've lost a lot of energy and I'm a little tired, it's okay. We're going to recover and we're going to be able to go again. But these guys that are strikers first, they get good at wrestling defense and being able to wrestle to a little bit, but they're not great enough to where they could offensively weaponize that wrestling now, that pace and that conditioning. So I would say the biggest thing is you have to be able to do that.
Demetrious Johnson reveals he still has offers come in for him to fight. However, at this point in his career, it's just not worth it. His last fight was in May of 2023, where he defeated Adriano Moraes in their trilogy bout to retain the one flyweight title. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Mighty Mouse said there's no point to it. There's got to be a point in time when it's like, okay, when is it enough? I felt that after the Adriano Moraes fight, this is the pinnacle. I was UFC champion. I was one championship champion. There's nothing else for me to prove here. What? Make more money? Nope, not at all. I've had offers come in. I've had great offers. Had a few offers come in. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Because I feel I try to be a man of my word. I told myself that I was never going to take a fight to make money. Those days of using my body to make money are over. I'm not going to sign a contract and go fight. I think it was important for me to take that time. I think as a professional athlete in mixed martial arts, you never know when it's the right time when it comes to mixed martial arts. Like, oh man, this guy is on an 8-fight winning streak. What is left for him to do? Should he keep on fighting to make money? Should he retire? For me, I knew that after the Adriano fight in Denver, Colorado, I was like, oh man, is this all my life is meant to be? Just keep on fighting over and over again and go to the press conference? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if I could be able to sustain, make money without getting punched in the face. So I gave myself a year to see if I was going to miss it. Miss the press conference, miss fighting, miss competing, and as time went on, I fell in love with competing in jiu-jitsu with the gi, and I started building the YouTube and started doing the Mighty Cast and doing different things and working on different businesses. I was like, man, I really don't miss it. I didn't want to hold up the division as well. Sean Brady still harbors animosity towards Leon Edwards, despite securing a victory over him via guillotine choke in the 4th round at UFC London over the weekend. Brady revealed that even after the fight, when he attempted to offer Leon words of encouragement, both Leon and his team dismissed him. Reflecting on the encounter, Brady expressed regret that he hadn't been even more aggressive, stating that he wishes he had been meaner to Leon and landed even harder shots. Go check out Brady's full appearance on the Believe You Me podcast. Links in the description.
After the fight, I was like, yo, like, you were a great champion, blah, blah, blah. Like, he just got choked out, so he was upset. But then, like, his whole team, like, they just kind of just blew us off, like, and then I see the interviews afterwards of him, like, the shit he was saying about me. So I wish I was even meaner to them, to be honest. Like, I'm very respectful, but if you're an asshole to me, like, you're gonna get that shit right back. So yeah, Leon, I don't really give a about him, to be honest. He was saying, so he said, he was talking about my size. He was like, Sean's so small. I didn't even know where he was at when I was walking up to the O2. It's like, you've realized how big I was when I was on top of you, for 4 rounds though, didn't you? So he was just saying sly shit all week. And I knew, I'm like, I can't wait to wrap my hands around this because people see me, I'm 5'9". I'm not a giant, but I'm not like 5'6". But I'm like, wait until you feel when I grab you and you can't get away from me. And then I can just see you breaking underneath of me. And that was the entire fight. I was looking at him in the corner. My coaches are screaming, look at that. He's breaking in his corner. You got his bullshit ass coaches trying to tell him some fairy tales to get him back into the fight. Like, lightning ain't gonna strike twice in the bottle, buddy. So yeah, I get a little upset about it, but he pissed me off. So it couldn't went. I wish I would have hit him even harder, to be honest, but it went pretty good for me.
Robert Whittaker gives his take on John Jones, stating that he needs 6 months to prepare for Tom Aspinall after the fight is officially booked. Rob thinks that at this point John is just trolling Tom, and Tom is wasting the prime years of his career. Tom's last fight was a 1st round KO win over Curtis Blades in July, where he defended his interim heavyweight title. Go check out the full latest episode of the MM Arcade podcast. Links in the description.
It's hard. At this point right now, I can kind of see John Jones just trolling the hell out of like Tom Aspinall, dude. Like I can see him like signing it, doing 5 months, and then just retiring.
He gets an injury and he retires. I see it too.
Like I think he's trolling him at this point. Like,
yeah,
it's rough. But yeah, that's a fight everybody wants though. Everybody wants. And Aspinall's just wasting away. Aspinall fighting Jones would have to be one of the biggest things he could do for his career.
Yeah.
You know, it might be worth the wait. It might be worth the risk. The whole risk, like, because even the messed up situation that it is right now is playing so much into Aspinall's favor. He's a lot of Jones fans have just jumped ship and jumped onto Aspinall, and they're all, you know what I mean? 6 months seems like a lot, but most fights get 4 months worth of, you know.
Aljamain Sterling responds to the narrative suggesting that Leon Edwards should retire following his loss to Sean Brady. Aljo believes Leon should take a step back, reassess his approach, and make adjustments to his fighting style. He also questions whether Leon still possesses the hunger to compete at the highest level.
I don't think so. I will say Leon will have to do some soul searching, respectfully. I think these younger guys are coming up. Their styles are different. You have to be able to adapt. I think the blueprint that Bilal used, Sean Brady was able to take that same pages, and implement a very similar game plan and ultimately have more success with it because he's more of a grappling style finisher versus a guy like Bilal who's just going to gas pedal you for 25 minutes, 15 or 25 minutes, right? And his striking is getting a lot better. But yeah, he's got to make some adaptations because for him to just go out there looking to hit one shot at a time, it's not a high percentage. You're not giving yourself a good enough chance to win, in my opinion. So he's got to evaluate some things. His coaches need to sit down and talk with him. I don't think he's done yet. I think he still has some really good, dangerous weapons in his back pocket. But he looks like the way he fought the last two fights that he might be content, bro. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just looked like you might be content, you might be happy. I just don't see in those positions the hunger to wanna, like when he fought Colby, you could tell he wanted to like unalive that ass, you know what I mean? Like when Colby made that reference about his dad, and bro, you saw Leon go dark in the eyes. That man said game on, you know what I mean? So I didn't see that hunger in these last two fights. And even the ones before that. Even the one with Usman, I thought it was a tough fight, but the rematch, I thought he looked the best he looked in all three of those fights. But yeah, he's gotta find something. Really? I still want to compete, but that's how I felt after the Mosa fight. It's like, damn, where the hell do I go from here in such a weird fight? In a fight where I didn't lose, like, yeah, I lost on the decision, like on the records, but I don't feel like I lost. I don't think he felt like he won. But now I'm just in a weird void of the division where it's like, who do you match him up with next? Who do you match him up with next? You know, so that's where I'm at. So I get that. If Leon is there, I completely empathize. I've been in that position. I can relate. But you have to figure out why you're fighting. Why are you still fighting? Why do you still want to fight? Life's good. You got a couple of M's in the bank account, bruv. The men them are good. You see me?
Tom Aspinall has reacted to the Tom Aspinall chants during the Dirty Boxing weigh-ins over the weekend, while John Jones and Mike Perry were on stage. In an interview with Ariel Helwani, Tom reacted to that clip saying he looks a bit uncomfortable there, looks a bit awkward. Everyone is an asshole sometimes, especially me. I don't take offense to it, but yeah, he did look a bit uncomfortable, looked a bit awkward. Colby Covington absolutely went off on Paul Felder, Recently, Felder made some comments about Colby on the Believe You Me podcast. He said, "I think that his persona is fading." Do you know what I mean? I think he's struggling to keep that MAGA, Mr. America bully from college persona these days. I think now at late 30s, towards the end of his career, he's struggling to keep that same face with that bullshit. And that's the problem with the type of personality when it's not genuine, because it's not with Colby. Because I've hung out with the guy for an extended period of time, and he's not like that. Colby responded to Paul Felder in an interview with Submission Radio. Colby said he was talking shit about me. Oh, he's done this and that and some other shit. I want you to go ask him next time you see him in person. Ask him about the time he was at Joint Base Langley Eustis, the Army and Air Force base. He got tied in handcuffs by military police to a toilet in his bathroom because he was drunk on the base. Like, that's embarrassing. You self-loathing drunk asshole. He must be drunk half the time. He's in that commentary booth for the UFC. Man, I feel bad for the UFC. They need to get some new commentators. And what better man I could be? I could be the UFC commentator. I don't have any stories like that. Felder and I are definitely going to have a word. I kept that story close to my heart for a long time, and I was never going to share it. But when you start trying to trash my name in the media and say things about me, what the f has Paul Felder done? I make more money outside the UFC than that guy's made in his whole entire life. The guy is an absolute bum. He's never done anything in the sport. He has no reason to talk shit, especially when he's never been in a main event in his life. The guy's a bum. He's got beaten up by everybody. He's literally been a punching bag in the UFC, and he's a self-loathing drunk asshole. So who gets tied to a freaking porcelain toilet on a military base? You're supposed to be there respecting the troops, respecting the military. But no, you're there being a drunk asshole. Ask Paul Felder about that story. That's a true story. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Tom Aspinall revealing that he met with Dana White and Hunter Campbell, and he's optimistic about his future. It's from Juggernaut Pup Master. It says, John is 40% of why the UFC is a current disappointment. The second one's from Diego Gutierrez. It's in reference to Molly McCann saying that she retired from MMA because she just wasn't good enough. It says, I respect Molly for being honest to herself. And the final one's from The Eagle Has Landed. It says, from it's done to, well, now we just got to get it signed. Reminds me of the Conor versus Chandler promised fight. We saw how that ended. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.